Welcome to another episode of SwillinGrog's A Wonderful World of Beer. This time around we have Hammer and Tongs Draught, 4% alcohol by volume, brewed by SABMiller in Vietnam. Alright, what more can I tell you about Hammer and Tongs Draught? Well, interestingly, I looked it up online, and Beer Advocate actually said that it was brewed in Australia by James Bogues and Sons. Which, according to the label, is clearly not the case, but perhaps that was the case, some time ago when it was originally posted. But definitely on the side of the label here it says beer, product of Vietnam, brewed by SABMiller Vietnam, imported by Pacific Beverages Proprietary Limited, which is a joint partnership between SABMiller and Coca-Cola Amatil, if I'm not mistaken. So that seems to be the case with this Hammer and Tongs Draught, which, at first glance just looks like a locally produced beer, and it very well may have been at some point in time, but it's definitely made by SABMiller in Vietnam now. Anyhow, it's a very cheap beer, cheap in Australian terms. I know that, over in America you can get like a case for of 24, or a carton of 24 for like $12. Here you can get a carton of this for about $25, which is quite good, in Australian terms, because your average carton is about $40 at least. Anyway, I think without further ado we'll crack this bottle of Hammer and Tongs Draught open and make an assessment of it. Alright, I think it's a twist top. Yes. Alright, I've got a nice, at least what was a nice ice cold pub glass here to pour it out into. Sure is hot here today. If anything, I just hope this will quench my thirst. So just giving it a nice pour. Okay. Let's make an assessment of the appearance. Okay, well the appearance is a very transparent golden colour. I'm somewhat surprised by just how gold it is actually. I was kind of expecting it to be a little paler than that, but yeah, it's got a decent amount of carbonation there. Just a little over a finger of head, although it probably had a bit more, but it's dissipated. I'll just top it up. Alright. As it turned out, there wasn't that much left in the bottle anyway. Alright, so yeah, decent amount of head there, but just a little over a finger. Alright, so how does it smell? What can I tell you about the aroma? Alright, let's see. What I detect is a fairly strong smell of yeast, and a fainter sort of smell of corn and rice adjuncts, which isn't surprising as it is an adjunct lager. God, these flies are annoying me. Jeez. Alright, so that's what I'm picking up as far as the aroma goes. So yeah, yeast and your corn and rice adjuncts. Yeah, fairly your standard adjunct lager smell really. Anyhow, time for the taste test. Cheers to you all. It's got a little bit of a hot bite to it. Yeah, up front it's got a somewhat sweet, malty sort of flavour to it. Although it's nothing to really write home about. Yeah, there's nothing much more I can really say. I mean, it's just very run-of-the-mill sort of a very run-of-the-mill generic lager, I suppose you could say. Definitely, it's going to be a good thirst quencher on a day like today. There's no real distinctive sort of taste to it. Yeah, it's, like I said, very run-of-the-mill, but I do need to gulp a little bit more of this. I am sort of picking up a bit of a soda water sort of taste as I drink more of it, actually, which isn't surprising given that it's only 4% ABV. Although it's not as bad as Bud Light, I'll give it that. Although all in all, it's pardon me, it's a fairly bland, generic lager. I suppose it would be quite sessionable, and you could drink a hell of a lot of it just because it is so bland and tasteless. Yeah, it's nothing really offensive about the flavour, but yeah, there's nothing that really stands out. Yeah, it's very bland, very run-of-the-mill, very ordinary. Alright, we'll gulp a little bit more, then I'll give it a score out of 10. Alright. Okay, well, in terms of a score out of 10, I would give it 5 out of 10. I think that's only fair. So it's not really one that's worth going out of your way to try. But if you only want to pay, $25, for a carton, then hey, why not, pick up Hammer and Tongs. Although, this time last year, I was able to pick up an actual Vietnamese beer that was, strangely enough, also brewed by SABMiller in Vietnam, called Zorok. And it was only $20 a carton, and it was quite good. It was 5% ABV, and a much better beer than this. But anyway, don't think I'll ever see that again unless I go to Vietnam. Anyway, well, that brings us to the end of yet another SwillinGrog beer review. So, until next time, cheers to you all.